Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video where we're exploring the essential oil of spearmint. Now, many of you probably have peppermint in your essential oil collection, but do you have spearmint? Sometimes it kind of gets pushed to the side by that more spectacular and more popular oil. But they each, although are from the mint family and have similar chemistry, there is differences in them as well. And there are benefits to working with one or the other in different times. The menthol content in peppermint is a lot higher, and that's why you get that real kind of slap in the face effect when you inhale some peppermint, whereas it's a lot lower in spearmint. This can be a good thing though, doesn't mean it's not so good because it's lower. Tends to, with peppermint, because of that menthol content, it will be used for therapeutic benefits or for medicinal reasons, whereas spearmint can actually be really nice culinarily and made for use in cooking, that type of thing as well. So how I remember when to use the different two mints: peppermint I've nicknamed day mint, and spearmint is nicknamed night mint, because when we need that slap in the face during the day, you've got peppermint, and when you need a bit more of a softer, gentle effect, like in the evening, you want spearmint. And so that's how I'm going to kind of talk to you throughout this video in comparing the day mint, night mint kind of scenario, so you know when to reach for peppermint and when to go for spearmint. One of the things I love about the mint oils is how diverse they are and how many different systems of the body you can use them for. So for example, I find if I've got a bit of a bellyache or I've eaten too much or something like that, peppermint can be really quite nice and just rubbed on the belly, and I find that really helps to kind of, help me digest my food and get everything moving. Now, if I'm going to bed at night, spearmint is a better choice. Or if you've got children, I personally would do spearmint because it's a little bit gentler and not so kind of savage in its menthol content in that type of way, and get a really nice effect there. Again, the mints are great for the respiratory system, and I find when I pop them in the diffuser or mix them with maybe a coconut oil and rub them over my chest, it really helps me to breathe a little bit easier. But I don't want to be using peppermint at night. That's going to wake me up. That's going to keep me wired laying in bed if I've got that in my nighttime diffuser. So then again, spearmint can be great. Another thing that I love the mint for is aches and pains. If I've overdone it at the gym and I'm feeling a bit sore in some place, making a bit of a blend and putting a mint in there can be really nice. You get that nice cooling effect from the mints, which I really like. It gives you that relief. Again, at night when we're feeling a bit stiff, I would go for the spearmint as well. So think of when would I use spearmint? It's when you need a softer approach of the mints. When you need that real kind of slap in the face, that is definitely the peppermint as well. But spearmint I find great for children. You don't want to hype children up. You don't want to kind of give them too much menthol type of thing. Not that there would be a problem with that if it's used in, in normal kind of levels. But yeah, spearmint, think of it for, it's a gentle one. It still is potent and powerful, but it has a lot more gentle effect. One final use I love to use spearmint for is just as a bit of a mouth rinse, and I find it helps for fresh breath. I feel that my teeth and my mouth is a lot happier when I do this as well. So make sure, of course, you've got a therapeutic grade spearmint essential oil. You don't want to just be throwing anything in there, because we don't always know what's in that bottle. So what I do is I put a drop in there and I'll swish that around in my mouth, or put it with my toothpaste and mix that in, and I just find I get this really nice fresh breath afterwards, and yeah, it just kind of makes everything feel a lot better in there as well. Now, if you're ever feeling a little bit frustrated or on edge or going to do something a bit irrational or a bit extremist, take a couple of drops of spearmint first, pop it in your hands, and take a nice deep breath in, or pop it in the diffuser for a little while, and it'll help you kind of find a bit more kind of harmony and balance, and sometimes come to your senses as well. It kind of gives you a bit of a reality check in that kind of way. Spearmint is also really great for the mind, and historically has been used for scholars and students. And what they'd do, they'd wear wreaths of it around their head to help them focus when they needed to in times of stress, particularly with those studying the occult, metaphysics, spirituality, or the higher arts of life. So again, remember, I go back to that analogy of day mint, night mint. If you need to be awake during the day, peppermint's amazing. Spearmint though, if you've got to study late into the night, or you're interested in studying the deeper mysteries of life or the spirituality, that's where spearmint, the more subtle, the quiet mint, comes in and really excels in that way. So if they're your interests, that's the mint you want to work with. Spearmint's your one. Do you wish to understand the deeper mysteries of life? Are you looking into spirituality or some kind of modality that looks at these kind of ideas? Maybe you're doing Bible studies, anything that's to do with spirituality or religion, and you want to kind of get a deeper understanding. Maybe you're just trying to understand what on earth is happening in life, what's happening right now, and that type of thing. This is where Spearmint is really great. Now, contemplation and time with Spearmint asks you the question, how much silence do you have in your life? Because these subtle, more spiritual energies are not obvious during the day. They come up or they come out when things are quieter, when things are darker. So the Spearmint is a really nice one to kind of question, do we need the TV on? Do we need the radio on? Could I have a bit of silence? Could I find some silence in my environment and in my mind? And when we create that silence and feel confident in that silence, that is when the mind can go elsewhere. It's when maybe subtle things like our angels or our guides can start to speak to us. Maybe we notice subtle things happening in the environment, or clues come up that because we're distracting ourselves by so much noise and so much brightness of technology and all those other things that we fill our life and our homes with, Spearmint shuts that all off and brings in greater understanding, brings in revelations, inspiration. So if you're looking for answers, for a solution for a problem, for studying something, for understanding something on a deeper level, Spearmint's going to help you to do that. It's going to help you generate silence in the mind and around you so that those answers can come to the surface and you can find what you're looking for. I've found many other authors and teachers tend to associate the mint with the throat. And I'm not sure if that's maybe because we brush our teeth often with minty things or have mint flavours in our mouth. But when you smell the mints, I feel it right here in the mind at the third eye chakra. So what is the role of the third eye chakra? A lot of the time we think it's intuition. I like to use a different word, understanding. It's bringing in our spiritual abilities through our intuition and our psychic abilities and so on, but also our intellect to understand what's happening in the world. Spearmint is amazing for helping to stimulate the third eye chakra, enhance our understanding of the world. So as I said before, it quietens everything down around us and helps us go deeper and deeper. If you're looking at activating and working on your intuitive abilities, your psychic abilities, your clairvoyance or anything like that, pop a little bit of Spearmint on your third eye chakra and also pop it in the diffuser. You'll find everything starts to quieten down. You'll find that chakra, the energy will start to rise as well, and you'll start to find the understandings and the answers that you're looking for. The third eye chakra helps us think for ourselves rather than thinking for other people. Spearmint will allow you to do the same. When we use our intuition, what feels right to us, and our intellect, what our mind tells us is right, or what we think is right, or what we logically know to be right, combine those two together, we can find our own truth. That is the domain of the third eye chakra, and Spearmint is amazing for helping you to excel working with this energy center. Spearmint is also a really great essential oil to use in blends. Again, peppermint can tend to dominate. Spearmint will play its role. If you're working with kids, I found, with my couple of nephews, if I'm helping them, if they're not breathing right or they've got belly aches and that kind of thing, Spearmint's great, but I like to use a couple of other gentle oils as well, like green mandarin essential oil, and also sometimes a bit of lime in the diffuser, or even mix it with the coconut oil and rub it on their chest or their belly, and I find that works really well. Now, we've been talking about diving into the deeper mysteries of Spearmint and how it really allows you to do that. Try combining it with juniper berry, another third eye chakra oil, and juniper berry essential oil helps us go into the unknown, and face our fears, and even do shadow work and all those types of things. So those two combined can be really powerful in a diffuser, or again, anointed on that third eye chakra. Other oils that you could do if you're making third eye chakra blends, peppermint is great, sandalwood can be really nice, fennel can really be quite powerful, any of those. Or if you've got a really cool third eye chakra blend that you've made, pop it down below and I'd love to give it a try, and I'm sure everyone else would as well. The other thing that Spearmint mixes really nicely with is the citruses. If you're making blends, try all the different citruses from grapefruit, tangerine, bergamot, orange, whatever kind of takes your fancy in that way. The final way that I use Spearmint is a bit of a blend, and I do this when I'm feeling really exhausted, kind of thing. You know, they talk about adrenal fatigue and things like that. I don't know if I've got adrenal fatigue. Sometimes I'm just absolutely pooped. And so what I'll do is I'll put in a big jug of water, and I use a therapeutic grade oil, ones that are okay for us to ingest that you can cook with and things like that. And I'll put 1 drop of basil, 1 or 2 drops of lemon, and 1 or 2 drops of spearmint. And I'll drink that like in a big 2-litre bottle of nice purified water and that kind of thing. And that really, I find, gives me a bit of a pep for the day and helps me out. So give that a shot if you're feeling a little bit exhausted and lethargic sometime. When we're working with spearmint essential oil, we can bring in other beautiful gifts of nature to really enhance what we're doing with spearmint. Now, spearmint helps us to understand life more. And those that have a greater understanding of life excel in life. They become leaders. And a great crystal that really helps leaders and those that need to step forward, especially in the spiritual realms, is called azurite or azurite. It's this beautiful, vibrant blue crystal here. It really, again, resonates with that third eye chakra and helps to expand the energy there so that you can delve into those deeper mysteries. So, you know, if you've got a tumbled bit of azurite, make a crystal cauldron. Put a tumbled bit of azurite in your diffuser with some spearmint, and the energies spread around the room together. Don't do that with a raw bit, it'll ruin your beautiful crystal, which can be a bit of a rare one as well. You know, when you're working with spearmint, you can wear a crystal of azurite or carry a piece in your pocket. Whatever you want to do to bring those two, and they'll really help you to get deeper understanding of what's happening in your world and what's happening in the world in general, and how to step up as a leader in different communities, in your family, or wherever you feel called to step up. The animal that comes to me when I'm working with spearmint is a mongoose. Now, mongoose are seen as adventurous, courageous, a bit rebellious, and of course, when the mongoose comes around, mongoose is that kind of like that revolutionist. It's that real leadership. Let's kind of go deeper. What else can we do? And that type of thing. So if you need to kind of bring a bit of animal energy in, look for the mongoose, and he can work really well with spearmint. Astrologically, spearmint works really well working with that mind with Mercury. And so star signs like Gemini can really benefit from them, as can Virgos. It can really soothe Virgos if they're overthinking too much. You could also bring in the planet of Uranus, and thus Aquarius as well. Aquarius is about thinking revolutionary and thinking outside the square, and spearmint definitely helps to do that. Astrologically, day-wise, I would find the power day for spearmint would be Wednesday, which is ruled by Mercury, or you could even bring in a little bit of Monday as well, because that's to do with the moon and that spirituality aspect. So if you're doing any spiritual work or deeper work with spearmint, try it on a Monday or a Wednesday. Now remember, as I said before, some essential oils are not what is on the label. All around the world, there is no specification of if you have to label essential oils right. If it's a perfume, you can call it a pure essential oil, and you can put whatever you want in it. I know when they tried to test peppermint at Walmart, they found it had 0% peppermint. It had corn mint in it instead, which is a lot cheaper, but definitely not as beneficial for our body. So make sure you're getting a pure, therapeutic grade essential oil. If you'd like information on how to get that and how to get ongoing support from myself and my oily inner circle, then my details are below. Drop me a line and we can talk about different options that would work for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that I've shed some light on that poor kind of black sheep of the mint family, the one that gets left behind, good old spearmint. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.